girl, hey girl, hey girl, hey. So guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another video. If this is your first time here, welcome my love. Please stick around, don't be a stranger, and do consider subscribing. If this is not your first time here, you already know the drill. You keep coming back to see me for a reason, so you better be subscribed, honey. So guys, okay, it is late. It is Friday, October 13th, and it is 1:37 a.m. The countdown is on. If you guys saw my other video, my previous upload, you saw, I sold my house, that video. You saw, me discussing when my last day here can be. And I'm actually moving out of this home before I told you guys my last day was. But guys, let me, because you guys see the title of this video, and in this video I'm gonna be discussing the healing process and why I sold this home and all of that. And I actually recorded this video several weeks ago. I'm gonna actually put the date on it in the next clip so you guys can see when I actually recorded this video. I'm talking to you guys so late because I was sitting here on this bed and I was editing that video, and I almost decided not to upload that video and to re-record it, because when I tell you guys, you'll see in that clip, so emotional, guys. I was very, very, very emotional, guys, and I am gonna cut a lot of that out. So I apologize now if the next clips are a little choppy, but they shouldn't be, because I'm just cut a lot of the emotions out, because I don't want to be all over YouTube crying. But I was very emotional because so many great things were happening at that time, and I'm explaining a little bit so you guys won't be lost when you start seeing that video, because a few things have changed since then. So I'm explaining a little bit, then I'm gonna just play that cut for you guys. But when I initially decided to sell this house and buy another house, guys, I grew up in South Carolina. My father owned a lot of land in South Carolina, and he went to Clayton Homes. He purchased a manufactured home. He put it on the land. I lived happy. I love that we lived out in the country. I love that. So the initial thing that I was going to do is I was going to do the same thing. I purchased land. I actually purchased quite a bit of land since that clip, because I discussed what I had purchased up to that point. But I have purchased quite a bit more lots since then. I own almost 20 acres of land right now, guys. I did that. So, and I'm going to do some stuff with it. You guys just got to stick around, because I have some major plans with what I'm going to do for that, and for me and for my children. But so the plan was, initially I went to Clayton Homes of Knoxville and I picked out a manufactured home that I want. The kids love it. However, by the time I had to be out of this home, it wasn't going to be ready. My lot wasn't going to be ready because, I had to get the well and the septic and all of that stuff. So my lot wasn't going to be ready, and the home wasn't going to be built. The projected time for the home to be ready for delivery is February of next year, so February 2024. So I was going to have to rent a temporary place until then, when I leave here. So guys, the home that I purchased, that I am moving into, I was just sitting down and something just said to me, Constance, do a search and see if any new homes have hit the market. I went online, pulled up the MLS, and I was like, instantly loved the home from the pictures. I knew the neighborhood. I called the broker, asked him to, let me go see it. I went to go see it when all the kids got out of school and everybody was available. We went back that afternoon to see it. I put an offer in that night. The rest is history. So, yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah. So my plans changed just like that instantly. And everything will be ready before I have to leave here. So I won't have to, rent a temporary place and give anyone any money. Like, everything will be ready with the clothes of that house and everything before I have to leave here. So that's catching up, because that has changed since I spoke to you guys on the clip that I'm about to add. But I'm still add that clip because I want you guys to see where everything was then. And as I get closer to what I'm going to do to my land, I'm going to share it with you guys. You're going to see that this is a journey. When I tell you guys, God has been so amazing to me and these children. I haven't been on here talking to you guys yet. I no longer am employed by anyone else. I work strictly for myself, Celia Jean Boutique and Celia Jean Boutique only. That was a goal that I set for, second quarter next year. I was able to go ahead and get that done before the end of this year. God is just moving, guys. God is moving. So I'm excited. I'm excited about this new house. I love it. It's beautiful. It's the size that I wanted, because this house right here is just over 1,600 square feet. That house is 1,750 square feet. So it's the size that I wanted. It just has, something for everyone. The only thing that I'm going to change is it has a carport, and I'm going to have that carport closed in and make that a space for the kids, because the house doesn't have 2 living spaces. It just has 1. And the one that it has it's pretty much the size of my living room now, but it's more open. There are no like closed off walls like now. Everything is open. But you guys will see. So let me see if there's anything else I want to tell you guys. I don't think so. If it is, I'm going to pop back up at the end of this video after you guys see everything that I discussed at that point, and discuss why I decided to sell this house and the healing process and all of that stuff. So if I have anything else to tell you guys, I'm going to pop back in after you guys see that. But I think I've said everything that I want to say up until this point. So guys, I'm going to stop talking and let's get into it. Let's get into healing after the sale. Ooh. Is my camera doorbell? Is it clean, baby? Hey girl, hey. Welcome back to my channels, guys, and welcome back to another video. If this is your first time here, welcome, my love. Please stick around. Don't be a stranger. Ooh, I'm dark. And do consider subscribing. If this is not your first time here, you already know the drill. I see you watching me. Watch you watch me, baby. So you better be subscribed, honey. So guys, welcome to episode 7 of How I Survived a Marriage Scam. If you're new here, my ex from Nigeria scammed me for a green card. And if you're watching this on Simpli Constance, this channel is strictly dedicated to discussing that, discussing my journey and what worked for me, what didn't work for me, and putting out information for you guys, and just being a safe place for those who have also lived through it or who's living through it and just need that safe place, that extra encouragement. If you're watching on Iffy Constance, that means you probably have been here go ahead and subscribe. Go ahead and check out, the I Survived the Marriage Scam playlist so you can catch up. So yeah, we can all be together on that. So guys, hold on. I told you guys in my last video that in my next video that I would be discussing that healing process and how, let me cut my car on, it's hot. Hold on. And how, turn the radio down because I know it's loud. And how sometimes we have, situations where we are still traumatizing ourselves because of things that we do, places we go, people we hang out with, and not even realizing that these things are an issue, because we're really not thinking about it. But with me, I have to be, I've come to the point to where I've been at the point to where I made sure that my kids were okay with everything and that my kids were covered with everything, and now I'm working on more so me. And guys, we have so many situations where we are still traumatizing ourselves, and in a lot of these situations we can help it. We don't have to keep having those flashbacks over and over and over again, and those memories. With me, guys, I have dreams about things that happen. I wake up and just cold sweats. I wake up crying. I wake up, and that stuff feels like it just happened. With me, I'm just being honest here. I'm just being transparent here. I put myself back in a situation for those things to continue to happen and continue to be more frequent. If you've been here with me, March of last year I purchased another home. That home was never purchased to be my forever home. I needed to be away from the home that me and my ex purchased together, guys. I just needed to breathe. And I felt like I couldn't here, because that's where I am now. I came back to the home when my ex let it go into foreclosure. But I felt like I couldn't breathe. I couldn't process everything here. I couldn't heal here because it was too fresh. And when I left here and I purchased, that new build that I never intended on being my forever home, just to be honest with you guys, that was a rush decision because of everything that was going on in my life with my ex at the time. I just needed to be away. But I'm glad God did it the way that he did, because that rush decision has become a income property for me and for my children, and it pays for itself plus some. So I'm glad that it worked out like that. But that house never was intended to be my forever home. So after being there, away from here for like 7-8 months, I think it was, I received a letter from a foreclosure attorney. My ex had did so much stuff and said so much stuff and just made so many threats. But at the end of the day, he just wanted to hurt me. He didn't want to be in this home. He didn't care about this home, like the upkeep of it or anything. Hell, when we was married, he didn't do anything here. He threw everything off on me. But the house in foreclosure, with all the mortgage payments that were missed and all the attorney fees and all the fees that the city calls, because when I came back here, guys, the grass was overgrown. The grass in the backyard was just as high as me. Like, everything was overgrown. Everything needed to be you know, manicured and taken care of. And like I said, with all the fees, because there were fees from the city that they had charged for cutting the grass. And when the city has to come in, those fees be $500 for this, $500 for that, $500 for that. There was so many fees. The fees was almost as much as what the mortgage company was charging for, you know, the mortgage payments that hadn't been paid. But at the end of the day, it was over $37,000 that I had to come up with to prevent this home from going into foreclosure. And I did that. And when I did that, I decided to come back to this home. And I thought I was okay, right? I had been away from here for 7-8 months, and I thought I was okay, so I came back in. There were some things that I updated. I updated lighting, I updated electrical, you know, foundation stuff. You know, I did some of that stuff. I went to Lowe's, designed a new kitchen. If you guys have been here, you've seen that video. You know, scheduled for the contractors, you know, to come out here and look at the kitchen, give me a bid on that. Look at the upstairs, give me a bid on what it would be to dormer out the upstairs, make the upstairs larger. Give me a bid on the replacing all the doors in the homes. The back door, like that sliding door, I wanted a door with the blinds in the middle so I wouldn't have to do the curtains, but just pretty much revamping the whole house. A lot of money, guys, a whole lot of money, because when I got those quotes back, I was like, oh. And then, you know, my honey came in and we discussed some of the stuff, like with the kitchen. He was like, no baby, we're not gonna do this because you're gonna spend, you know, it's gonna be way too much money. So he showed me a way to cut the kitchen design in half because of the cabinets that I chose and how we could do that ourselves. So, but went through all of that stuff, getting ready to start doing all of that stuff, and it seemed like nothing with it would fall into place like it needed to be. It always was something with a contractor, something with a material, something just wouldn't work. It just wouldn't work. So I went another avenue. Spoke with other contractors outside of Lowe's, but it's like everything, it just wouldn't work. I just couldn't get it to work. Just couldn't get it to work. So, you know, I'm talking to God because, you know, I'm like, okay, God, you brought me back here. Why did you bring me back here? I'm trying to do these things to make this home comfortable for me and for my children, but nothing is working, Lord. What's the problem? And then I started feeling a certain way, guys. When I was here, you know, with my ex, living in this home, there were a whole lot more bad memories than good. And just to be transparent, I felt myself, after being back here for like 2-3 months, I felt myself sliding. I felt myself being unhappy again, and I was only unhappy when I was here. When I'm out in the public, I'm fine. When I'm at work, I'm fine. When I'm with my honey, I'm fine. When I'm places with my children, I'm fine. But when I will pull back here, it's like those of us who live through it, you get it. But it's like I just couldn't get it together, guys. You know, there was a day that, because I spent so much time in my master bathroom shower just crying and upset when I was with my ex. There was a night that I had to call my friend and ask her if I could come to her house and take a shower, because I just couldn't go into my bathroom, guys. And you know, she knows me. She knows a lot of stuff that I don't talk about here. When I got to her house, she just grabbed me and hugged me and told me she loved me. And but she just grabbed me and hugged me and told me she loved me. We talked a little bit. I took a shower, you know, and I came back here. But I felt myself just not being okay. When I was married to my ex, guys, and we was here together, a lot of times I couldn't sleep at night because I would have like a lot of bad dreams, a whole lot of, and that started back happening. Like, you know, I'd be asleep and I would literally have a dream about something that occurred between us, and then I would be awake and not be able to go back to sleep. It was just so much, and I just had to come to the realization that this house is not safe for me. This house is not okay for me. And when I say safe, I mean safe for my well-being, my mental health, because it's just so much that happened here. I could literally be sitting in the living room and it's like I'll just have a flashback of something that happened. And it's those who have lived through it and who have been in this situation and who have been with someone like my ex, you get it. You know exactly what I'm saying. You know exactly where I'm coming from. So I just had to have a talk with God, because when I came back here, I didn't have to come back here. And I just had to come to the realization that I wasn't ready to come back here yet. You know, and I don't think I would ever be ready to be here. And as long as I have this home available to me, I know I will always come back here. And that's not okay for me. This home is just not a safe place for me. I put this home on the market, guys. And let me show you how I know it's nobody but God telling me I don't need to be here. All the homes around here have been on the market over 7-8 months. No action. Haven't sold. I put this house on the market, guys. This house sold in 3 weeks. 3 weeks. I found another home that I wanted to move into. And sometimes just because we can afford something doesn't mean that it's something we should do. First of all, I was thankful to God because I never thought that I would be able on my own to afford a home that's $550,000. I never thought I would be able to afford that type of home on my own. You know, went to my bank, got my approval. My approval was actually over that, but the home that I found, that's what it was. God is amazing. And like I said, this just being transparent, because I have been working hard and staying out the way and doing what God told me to do. I saved a little over $200,000 in these past couple of years. I've been saving money. I just haven't been, you know, doing anything but working, saving money, taking care of my children. And you know, I said I'm gonna put that money down on the house and my payments will be lower and just blah 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 blah. But I got to the point I had to think about it. You know, I asked God to put me in a position where I'm debt free, where I don't owe anyone any money, My car is paid for. I don't owe like any other little bills, no loans or anything. I've paid all that stuff off. I don't want to have a mortgage payment, guys. I don't want to have a mortgage payment. I grew up in Clio, South Carolina. That's where my mother lived. My father lived in Dillon, South Carolina. My father purchased, when I was a child, 3 acres of land from Lower Meekins. If you're from Dillon, South Carolina, you already know. But he purchased 3 acres of land from Lower Meekins. And if I wanted to take my children back to South Carolina, I would go back to that because I still own that land. I still pay taxes on it. But I don't want to live in South Carolina, and I don't want to uproot my children and move them that far. Especially with Jay. This is her senior year in high school. And when my father did that, he went to Clayton Homes and he purchased a double wide trailer for $30,000. And that's how we lived. And I was happy and I loved it. And I asked myself, Constance, where was the place last in your life where you felt the most safe and you were happy? And I was happy living out in the country on those 3 acres of land. I was happy being in my father's home, you know, way back then, because I was a child and I'm 43 years old now. You know, I was like, when my father bought that home, I was like 12, 13, maybe. That's how much prices have changed, because double wides now are over $100,000. But I found me 2 acres of land, guys, and the lot behind it may be for sale soon. The owners have a single wide trailer on there, and their lot is 1.5 acres, and we're talking about it now because they may be moving that somewhere else. And I don't know, I really didn't get into their business, but we're talking about them selling me their lot. There are 5 acres, and I'm gonna show you guys across the street from it, that is just like, right now it's like, you know, corn. That's what's there. The owners of that, I'm talking to them about purchasing that. But my 2 acres that I purchased, and I tell you, God puts you in situations with people for a reason. When I purchased those 2 acres of land, it wasn't even listed as being for sale. My realtor that I work with to buy this home, my home in Kannapolis, and that I was also working with when I found another home that I was going to purchase that I decided not to. She said she knew someone who had some land for sale and they hadn't put it on the market yet. And let me tell y'all how God works. This family was one of my favorite families when I worked for DSS. I placed their grandchildren in their homes. I gave them guardianship of their grandchildren because their daughter and her boyfriend couldn't get it together. When she told me she knew this, you know, she had this family that, you know, was trying to sell this land, and she initially told them, you know, okay guys, I'm back. My battery died, but I was gonna keep talking until it went out because I've been saw it flashing. But when she initially told them who I was, because you know it's really not common for you to meet and have conversations with sellers of anything, but it wasn't listed yet. And when she told them who I was, we met. I went to their house. You know, long story short, we met. I ended up going to their house. When they saw me, they hugged me, guys. I hadn't seen those children, their grandchildren that I gave them guardianship of in years, because it's 2023. I left Children's Services in 2017. I think I left Children's Services in 2017, 2018. Why did those kids still know who I was, guys, when they saw me? They was like, Miss Constance, because they weren't little babies when I gave their grandparents guardianship of them. You know, they were old enough to understand and know what was going on. But when they saw me, and the son, he's the oldest, that kid is taller than me, but I was so glad to see him, and we hugged and we cried, but I was so glad to see them. And they told me that they had been watching my YouTube. I know they're probably going to watch this video. I love you guys. But they told me that they had been watching my YouTube, and they saw what? Trying to make it through this video, but the way God blesses, but they said they saw what I had lived through, and they said they had been worried about me and praying for me, and that, you know, they were so proud that I kept going. But they were like, with your spirit, when you work for these children, and the things that, you know, you used to tell us, the things that you used to try, you know, to get our daughter to do, we knew you were going to be okay. Long story short, guys, we talked about the land. They're the ones who connected me to the neighbors who live behind, and the family who lives, you know, who owns the land where the cornfields over. Anyway, this land, guys, they had not put it on the market. They were not sure if they were going to put it on the market. However, if they did, they was going to sell this land for close to $60,000. When I tell you this family is well off, they don't need money. The property, the land that their home is on, because they built their home. You know, if you're watching this video and you are, you know, you work in children's services and you place children with families, you know, you have to be all in their finances to make sure that they can afford to have these children in their home, and that if the children have to end up staying there long term, that the family can afford it. They are very much well off. Very, very, very much well off. The property that they built their home on is well over 10 acres. All of it is manicured, still beautiful. They have a 5,000 square foot home on that property. They have a pool. They have, you know, RVs, and they just have so much stuff out there on their property. It's like a little city in itself, and it's all fixed in, and the home is beautiful, and those kids are living amazing. But you know, they sold that land to me, those 2 acres of land, guys. They sold that land to me for $18,000. $18,000. And that's why I say I'm just thankful how God continues to put things into place for me and my children. When I step back and I let God be God, and I don't do things my way, how things just fall into place. And I'm thankful for that. I am so thankful for that. And not only did they do that, you know, and I don't want to get ahead of myself though, so let me tell you guys this. I went to Clayton Homes of Moxville, and I found a beautiful home for me and my children. And instead of me having a mortgage payment, what that home cost, I'm able to purchase that home in cash with the money that I saved, and not even have a mortgage payment. Y'all understand how God works? That's why I'm like, when you do what God says, and you live the way God tells you to live, and you move when God tells you to move, and don't be afraid, thing works out. It works out. I was saving that money to make sure that I can do the things in this home that I wanted to do. And even though the money is there and available and ready, it just wouldn't work out, because this is not where God wanted me to be. This is not where God wanted me to come back to. You know, it's like I came back here and I'm traumatizing myself over and over and over again, you know. And with speaking to some of the people who live through this and reading some of the comments on my videos and things like that, sometimes we do it to ourselves because we're keeping ourselves in that same place, in that same location. We are. Guys, I haven't been in my kitchen in this home in over a month and a half. I can't go in there. I can't go in there. Sometimes we keep ourselves in that place. And I'm not telling anyone to uproot and leave their home, and if you can't afford to do things, but if you know you experience more bad than good in that place, and you know that you can afford to get out, and you know that when you're there, you're just not you're not happy, and it's just causing more bad and good in your life, then you need to move away. I had to sell this house, guys. I had to, because initially I was just going to, you know, do certain things here, give it to Cam and move on. But I know as long as I have access to this home, I will always come here. I will always want to stay here. And that wouldn't be okay for me. First of all, it wouldn't be fair to my children, because I wouldn't be who I need to be for them here, because I'm not completely happy here. I'm just being transparent. Just being transparent. I'm putting on that face that I'm happy and saying that I'm happy and okay when I'm not. And we just have to be truthful and be transparent and talk about it. You know, when I talk to my therapist, and I love her because she gives it to me how it needs to be. You know, Constance, you can afford to move on. Why are you holding yourself back there? Stop saying you're doing it for your children. You're not doing it for your children. Your children are okay. And they are. I've worked my ass off to make sure that they were okay. And I just had to come to the realization that I'm re-traumatizing myself. And I'm doing that to myself every single day. There are so many things that I can discuss about how I feel here and what goes through my mind here, and just my well-being and mental health here. That's just not okay. And it's just not okay. It's just not okay. But it's nobody but God who put me in the position that I'm in, because I should have never come back here. I should have never come back here, guys. I just should have let be what was. It wouldn't have hurt me in any type of way. To let the home foreclose, it wouldn't have hurt me in any type of way then. I just should have let it be. I just should have let it be. But I'm you know, I needed to see. I can't even say that, because I really didn't need to see anything. I'm just listening, God. I'm listening, God. And I'm glad that I am who I am, and that I've been who I've been to people, because there are really so many people here that love me. This family could have sold that land. If you are looking for land in any county in North Carolina, you know that 2 acres of land, especially in gray areas, are going for $60, $70, $80,000. I've seen some 2-acre lots for over $100,000, y'all. I've seen it. They were gonna sell this land when they decided to for $60,000 because that's what they could have sold it for. They sold it to me for 18. And that's nobody but God. It's nobody but God letting my realtor know who they were. My realtor didn't know that I knew them. It's nobody but God who connected us back together. It's nobody but God who did that. It's nobody but God who made me their social worker when I worked for Children's Services. It's nobody but God who made me the person that I am when it came to children and families. Because at the end of the day, I know I didn't do a lot of things right, but I was one of the best motherfucking social workers this county seen, y'all, in Children's Services. My goal was always to send children home. And when they couldn't go home with their parents, if they had grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, someone to keep them children in the same family so they will be connected to their parents, that's what I pushed for. I was never that social worker that pushed for children to be adopted out by other families and other people. We're gonna keep these kids in their home community. We're gonna keep these kids with their family. And I'm so glad God made me that person. Because to come back now, and you know, and it's been so many years since I saw that family, and for them to be so grateful, and for them to be a family who watch my YouTube, you know, who would have thought that? I'm just grateful that God's putting all this stuff into place. God has put in things into place for me to be able to save money and buy this home and not have a mortgage payment. Guys, this family is connected with the family, another family, because when they build their home, they had to get a well and septic tank, the well and septic system, all that stuff put in. The company that put their well and septic system in, they called the owner. They told the owner that they were selling this land to me. They told the owner that it didn't matter what the cost was when my well and septic system went in to send them the bill. That's a gift that they were giving to my children. If y'all, guys, I am trying to keep it together, but the way that God continues to bless me and my children, I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna show y'all the land when everything is happening with the, you know, with the septic system and the well and all that stuff is going in. I'm gonna record that and show it to you guys. I'm gonna show you guys, you know, the home when it's getting put in, the land when it's getting cleared. But if y'all know about well and septic systems can cost up to $20,000 getting put in. Wells, most companies, they charge a flat fee of $8,900 to dig. I think it's 500 feet underground. From talking to the neighbors around there, you know, they said their average is between 150, 250 feet. They don't need up to 500 feet, but most companies, that's just the fee that they charge. $8,900 to dig that up to 500 feet. This family is paying for this for me. This is a gift from them to my children. This is money that God gave me to be able to pay, but I don't have to pay for it, you know, just because of who I was to their family. And yes, their parents couldn't get it together and get them back, but these kids are still in their parents' lives, because these grandparents still maintain those relationships and make sure safe boundaries are set for those children. You know, for them to tell me that, and for me to talk to the kids, because when I was at social work, I had to talk to them in private all the time, and for them grandparents to be their guardians now and still trust me to go off and have private conversations with those kids, because the little girl, she is close to being wanting to date and all this stuff, so, and when she asked her grandparents, because she talked to me, and they was like, oh, of course, we will always trust you with Constance, we will always trust you with her. And for me to be able to go and sit at their little lakefront in front of that house, and talk to that baby for as long as I did, and for me to be able to talk to her brother, just me and him, as long as I did, and for them to still trust me, guys. I mean, like, y'all just don't understand how I am feeling right now. God has just been so good. Sometimes you have to go through the bad to get to the good. So sometimes, sometimes it's worth it. Sometimes you have to fight through that hell to get to the good, and you have to do what God says and just move the way that God says move, and just let people be people and do whatever. But guys, I'm so grateful. Today is September 4th. Happy Labor Day to you guys. I will probably upload this video at the end of the month. I close on the sale of this house, so the last day me and my kids will be in this house, or it's the 28th of this month, and that's okay. That's okay, because I know that's the best thing for me, and if it's the best thing for me, it's the best thing for my kids. And I just had to stop saying, I wanted to maintain this house for me. I meant for my children. It wasn't for my children. At the end of the day, I just have to be honest with everything, because like I said, my children were okay. It was me. It was me. But with what God is providing me with now, I'm so grateful. The company that is going to clear the land off for me is also connected to that family. It's his other son and his son business partner. I am paying them, but the percentage that I'm paying them is nothing close to what they would charge other people. It's really to pay their employees. When I tell you guys, God has been so good to me. God has been so good. And I'm just so emotional, because I know what I've lived through. I know what I've discussed. I know that there's a lot that I haven't discussed. I know that what my children have lived through, and I know where we're going now. And I know that it only gets better. I know that it only gets better. So you mothers out there, don't be afraid. If you're in a place that's not good for your mental health, trust me. Don't make excuses and say you need to stay there for your children. Make that move. If you can afford to make that move, make that move. Leave all of that negativity behind. Leave all of those negative memories behind. Just leave it, guys. I'm not even taking any furniture here with me. I don't even want any furniture that was here that I had during that relationship. The people who purchased this house, a new couple, I gave them to it. I could have sold it to them, but I gave it to them. I gave them the kitchen table, the fireplace, even though the fireplace is something that I purchased after the fact, but it was in here, so I don't want it. I gave them that. I gave them the kitchen island that I built. The living room set, I gave that to one of my friends' nieces, like all the beds and all that stuff in here. I'm gonna donate that. Just a fresh start with everything, and even like my new furniture is going to cost me about $19,000 to furnish the house, because I've already gone to the furniture store. Child, I actually have it right here. Hold on, I actually have it right here in my purse because I wanted and it's from Ashley Furniture, guys. That's why I'm gonna get my new furniture from. But, and this one doesn't even include any of the bedroom furniture. This one just includes, because my new home has 2 living rooms. So for my 2 living rooms and, excuse me, the 2 living rooms, hold on. Which one is it? The 2 living rooms, the dining room, oh, this is the one, yeah. So for my 2 living rooms and my dining room furniture, just for those, $10,186.33. And they gave me a really good promotion. But yeah, this is the fee for what I'm picking out, what I've chosen for that. And I have to take the kids back, and that's why I said it's going to be $18,000. It's actually going to be over, because the bedroom set that I chose for myself is a little over $3,000. The one that Jayla likes, her bed frame by itself was like $1,400. That doesn't include her dressers. Nadia's bed was only like $900 some. Cam was $13. What I'm doing in the baby's room, that's coming from somewhere else, but with all hours together, it's going to be at least $8,000-9,000 for the bedroom stuff of what I'm choosing, because the mattress that I'm getting from my bed, guys, like it's one of like the little Serta cooling mattresses, and the one that I like, because there was one for $6,000. I'm not gonna buy that. And I'll take you guys in there when we pick everything out, so you will see when it comes to the bedding stuff. But that's the only thing I didn't pick out, and I have to go pay for this because they're having a Labor Day special. But I told him to print everything for me, and in order to get that deal, I have to pay for this today. So I'm going to pay for this now. And the thing is, I don't have to have it delivered, because it'll be another month and a half before everything is ready on the land and the home is delivered, if it goes as planned. I had to rent a temporary place, and I'm okay with that. And I'm not moving any of my furniture in the temporary place and have to move it again. I'm not going to do that because this stuff costs too much. So, and Ashley, they know, and they're like, you know, they will hold it for as long as they need to, and then come deliver it. But I'm gonna show you guys, you know, that everything is just, I'm just grateful, guys. I'm just so grateful how my business is going. I'm just so grateful, and I just had to come to the realization that, Constance, you're traumatizing yourself. You don't have to live that way. You're causing yourself to be sad. You're causing yourself to not be able to sleep at night. And this video probably be a part 2, guys, because or part 3 or whatever, because I want to show you guys the whole process of everything with the house. And I've been sitting in my car this whole time. The kids, they keep coming to the door looking at me, but I'm going to go out and I'm gonna show you guys my land. And when they start clearing it, I'm gonna go show you that. But I'm gonna show you my land, you know, the 2 acres. I'm gonna show you across the street that, you know, if it's meant to, well, it's not across in front of my house. Well, how I'm gonna have my house on the land, it is across the street. But I don't know how the city is gonna allow me to do it, because my address is the street when you turn in to my land on the right, but I don't want my house facing that way. I want my house facing forward. So if I face my house forward, I don't know if the street is, if the county is going to, because it's not in the city, it's in the county, if the county is going to let me let my address be the street name going forward. I don't know, because I'm not gonna turn my house that, I don't want my house turned that way. So I'm gonna show you the land that'll be in front of my house across the street, you know. And I hope if it's God's will, I'll be able to buy that, because I want to buy quite a bit of land around there. It's a great area. And God is good, because like I said, it's not even listed anywhere. And just for me to be connected to families because of the good work that I did for these families years ago, and they still love me for it. That's why I say, guys, be good to people. Be good to people. You never know when you're going to need somebody. We all need people at some times. So be good to people. And don't be good to people because someone is watching. If you're good because you know someone is watching and you need recognition, you're not doing it for the right reason. Be good to people because it's the right thing to do. And I thank God for just making me who I am. For just making me who I am, because I know I'm good to people even though when they're not good to me. That's why I know God continues to bless me the way that he does. I am going to drive out to my land and I'm gonna show it to you guys. And then when it starts getting cleared, I'm gonna show it to you guys, because some of it is clear, but a lot of it isn't. And I'm not gonna walk because I don't have boots on. I have flip-flops on, and I ain't about to get my legs tore up by whatever could be in there crawling around. We're not doing that. So I'm gonna see you guys when I get out there. I'm gonna show it to you guys, and God is so amazing. Okay guys, all this is my land. My land pretty much ends a little after where that light pole is, but like all of this. God is so amazing. Like, guys, all of that is my land. All of this. And I'm gonna show you the other side, but this is the side that I want my entrance on, right up there a little bit, like to remove a few of those trees and to like make my driveway up in there. But of course we're going to like cut all this back and clear like all the brush and all of that stuff out. But guys, this is all my land. And then over here, well, hold up, let me get in the car. Let me get a better angle for over there for you guys. Hold on. So let me drive up a little bit, and you can see through it, because some of it needs to be like really clear, because I want my driveway to be up in here, because this is where I want my house to sit. And you can see my neighbors, they have their little single wide trailer back there, but I want my driveway to be up in here, with how I want everything sitting. And let me show you guys across. Hold on, let me get out the car. So this is some of the 5 acres that will be across the street. The other part down there has like corn stuff on it, the part that's down there. But like, yeah. So, but I want all that cleared. If you know, if everything works out the way it needs to work out, and I'm able to purchase this part of it too, I'm gonna have all of that cleared, because they actually have more than 5 acres, guys. But how land is sold, it can only be broken down so much before the city has to classify it like as a small neighborhood or something. It can only be broken down so much and sold in whatever quantities or whatever. If I'm able to get a little over 5 acres and if the price works, that's what I want to do, because an acre of a child, and like how the city, well this is out in the county, but how everything, you know, works now. If you want to build a home, if you want to purchase a mobile home, a modular home, or either build a home that is more, you know, that is 4 or 5 bedrooms, you have to at least put it on an acre of land. So 5 acres, all my kids, look, that's what we're trying to do, that's what we're trying to do, that generational wealth. Let me pull around this way, hold my camera like this, because I don't want you guys, I'm not gonna, well, not you guys, but I don't want to show my street name. But this is when you're pulling in. This is my land. When you're pulling in all of this, and this part of it up here is clear. So let me get out and show you guys the part that's clear. And then my neighbors have a mobile home right there. I don't really want to show that yet because someone still lives there, and I don't want to show all their business. But all of this is the front part that's clear, and it goes, I'm gonna take my camera all the way, okay, I don't want to show my neighbor stuff, but it goes like all the way to like where you see the edge of this trailer, and way back there where we just were. But this is the part that's clear. I will have to clear all of that back there, and I want my driveway kind of right there where those trees were. That's where the driveway would be. But yeah, so because I don't want my house to be facing this way, I want it to be facing that way. So I'm gonna see how the city, well, how the county goes with that, because the address now is on this street going this way where I'm at. I want my address to be on the street that I just showed you guys. So hold on, put my camera down, because like I said, I ain't trying to show no street names and no neighbors' business. Let me put my camera down for a minute, guys. But I am really excited. God is amazing, and it's some cute little homes back here, guys. Like this home right here, I want to show y'all, but I'm not, because they're my neighbor. But this house right here, it's gray. Y'all know I love gray. It's gray, and I love how they did their deck. I already have a company that I'm gonna have to do my front and back deck, because I want a deck on the front and the back. But I'm gonna ask them who did theirs, just to have that backup, because their deck is beautiful. It's like so beautiful, guys. It's so beautiful out here. I love it. I love country living. That's how.
See me poppin', I'm a blossom. I don't need a Batman to my Robin. I'm official on a Gotti. You can hit a vroom vroom in my Rari. I'm not sorry, no, I'm not sorry. It's official, I'm a problem. I done